Now, you had Henry VIII, who birthed the Protestant or the Anglican church because he wanted to be in charge of something. So he wanted his own church to be in charge of, so he birthed it. And then you had Anglicans saying, wait a minute, we're not doing this right. Here's what the Bible teaches. And it's the Bible that teaches separation of church and state. But it's an institutional separation, not an influential separation.
Got it.
You see, the first time you find the phrase is in England in the 1500s with a theologian, Richard Hooker. And he's the one who first used the phrase separation of church and state. Then as you come into American history, you find the first use of the phrase separation of church and state is by the minister, Christian minister, Roger Williams. It's the same thing. He's trying to get the government to leave the church alone.
We so often hear the Constitution's religion clauses in the First Amendment coupled with the phrase separation of church and state. Yet concerning religion, the First Amendment only states, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. Clearly, neither the word separation, nor church, nor state is found in any part of the First Amendment. In fact, that phrase appears in no governmental founding document. Of course, most today recognize the phrase separation of church and state, but few know its source. Yet it is important to understand the origins of that phrase and how it subsequently became somehow attached to the First Amendment. The debates surrounding the framing of the First Amendment ran from June the 7th through September the 25th of 1789, and the records of those debates make unequivocally clear that the First Amendment's purpose was to limit the federal government in two specific areas. First, the federal government was prohibited from establishing a national denomination, whether Catholic, Anglican, or any other. This was the very problem that America had faced when she was part of Great Britain. The founders did not want that in America. The part of the First Amendment that forbids any such national denomination is called the Establishment Clause, and it is the part stating, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion. Secondly, the First Amendment also prohibited the federal government from interfering with or limiting the people's religious expressions. This part of the First Amendment is called the Free Exercise Clause. It's the part stating, or prohibiting, the free exercise thereof.
So what is the source of Jefferson's now infamous phrase? On November the 7th, 1801, the Baptist of Danbury, Connecticut wrote Jefferson concerned that the guarantee of the free exercise of religion appeared in the First Amendment. To them, this suggested that the right to religious exercise was a government-granted rather than a God-granted right, thus implying that someday the government might try to regulate religious expression. They believed that freedom of religion was a God-granted, unalienable right, and that the government should be powerless to restrict religious activities unless, as the Baptist explained, those activities cause someone to, quote, work ill to his neighbor.
Jefferson understood their concern, for he had already proven that it was his concern as well. He replied to the Danbury Baptists on January the 1st, 1802, thanking them for their kind prayers and assuring them that their free exercise of religion was indeed an inalienable right and therefore would not be meddled with by the government. Jefferson pointed out to them that there was, quote, a wall of separation between church and state, and that this wall of separation would prevent the government from interfering with or hindering religious activities.